We're now in the approach phase, everything looking good. Altitude 5,200 feet.
Okay, all flight controllers, gonna go for landing. Retro.
Go.
Control.
Manual control.
GNC. Ecom. Surgeon. Go. Capcom or go for
Altitude 42, Houston, you're go for landing.
Over 3,070.
Welcome to the Alien Probe Podcast. This is Dr. Bill. I was looking over Project Blue Book's status reports, which they put out periodically in the 1950s, and particularly report number 9, published in the 31 January 1953. There was one report which was given a conclusion of insufficient data for evaluation that happened at the White Sands Proving Ground, which is now known as the White Sands Missile Range. The description of the incident is something right out of a Spielberg movie. White Sands Proving Grounds are particularly interesting because on the 16 July 1945, on the northern edge of the range is where the first atomic bomb test had taken place. And some people think that the atomic bomb was a trigger for the beginning of the sightings involving UAPs or UFOs. So I'd like to read this report from Project Blue Book, report number 9, 31 January 1953. Project Blue Book Status Report Confidential, White Sands, New Mexico, 25 November 1952. The following is an extract from the monthly intelligence summary, White Sands Proving Grounds, New Mexico. The source was a lieutenant colonel assigned to White Sands. The description of the incident is in his words. I was returning to the White Sands Proving Ground from the William Beaumont Army Hospital in Fort Bliss. Fort Bliss is 50 miles south of the housing facilities at White Sands and takes about an hour to drive. He took the Southern Range Road, which is now Highway 213. He left the hospital at the end of visiting hours around 2000 hours or 8 p.m. At around 20:30 hours or 8:30 p.m., in the area of Range 61, I observed what appeared to be flares or pyrotechnics. On the right side of the road, my first thought was that these objects were flares that were being fired by troops on a night maneuver. However, within a matter of seconds, I observed what appeared to be a flare land in the middle of the road, about 300 or 400 yards distant in front of the car. It was shaped like a ball, with a green center, fading to light hazy blue at the exterior. It disappeared before I arrived at the spot. After observing this light, I thought that the Army was using a new type of pyrotechnic, which I was not familiar with and was being tested on a night problem. 3 or 5 minutes later, I observed a series of lights, approaching from the east or the right side of the road. It was at an altitude of 300 to 500 feet and between a quarter and a half mile distant. I thought that this was an airborne drop of troops being done in conjunction with a night problem or maneuvers. I first thought it might be a C-119 or a C-123, which are Air Force twin-engined, mid-sized cargo troop carriers. However, this object then made a right turn northward above the road and then pitched up at an angle of approximately 90 degrees and disappeared straight into the sky. I can state that it had what appeared to be 2 rows of windows, brilliantly lighted, 5 to 6 feet in height, with 6 to 8 windows in each row. I cannot state whether it was a plane or another type of aircraft. After the object disappeared, I stopped the car and got out for a better look, to see if it was a plane, but could see nothing. I turned the car's engine off to see if I could hear the motors of a plane, but could hear no sound. I then proceeded to drive to White Sands Proving Ground and reported the incident. Discussion of the incident, investigation by Project Blue Book. It is possible that the object was an aircraft, except that from the description the probability of it being a known aircraft is low, and evidentially no engine sound was heard. The incident occurred in a flat rolling desert on a clear cold night. The moon was half full above the horizon to the east, giving moderate illumination of the area. No troop movements or airdrops were scheduled for that evening. Conclusion: insufficient data for evaluation. End report, Project Blue Book, 31 January 1953. So, thank you for listening. This is the Alien Probe Podcast. Goodbye.